everything that has contributed to this turnaround in my health and allowing me to live an abundant life. I'm going to cry again. This is a very personal topic, you know. So grateful. Okay, Lee, get it together. Let's hold it together here. Today we are talking about food and how that relates to intentional living. I'm going to be showing you a general weekly food haul for the winter time. It is January when I'm filming this. And also talking to you about what we eat in a week on a whole foods, animal-based diet. I have honestly been quite hesitant to do this video, even though it's one of my most requested videos, because food is a very passionate topic for people, and also the cost of food right now is, I think, a source of stress for a lot of us. However, food has changed my life. If you are not new here, you might know that I have been battling for over 2 decades with chronic illness. And at the heart of Little House on the Mountain is this concept of intentional living in every area of our life. And I would be remiss if we avoided the topic of intentional living when it comes to intake. Oh, and if you are new here and you enjoyed today's video, I would love to have you stick around and subscribe so that we can visit again. So I am 38 years old. I'll be 39 this year in 2024. And for over 2 decades, I have battled with late-stage endometriosis. And because of that, I have also battled with chronic migraines, chronic pain, hormonal imbalance, histamine intolerance, digestive issues, and a host of some other problems. And I have suffered over the years, and sometimes it's hard for me to talk about. But I'm getting teary right now because chronic illness takes over your life. It's not really functioning. It's surviving. And I knew that I didn't want to just survive. I am not an excuses person, and I'm also don't tend to be a negative person. I am a problem solver. If there is something going on, I want to figure it out. I will pray for wisdom. I will do whatever research I need to do. I will change the things about myself that need to change. I will confront my issues. I am a fixer, and I don't go down without a fight. And so when I hit this point of hopelessness years ago, and my body felt like it was shutting down. I had been a vegetarian 18 years. My body felt like it was shutting down. I was getting tested for Lyme's and all type of things because I was hurting down into what felt like down into my cells. I had felt so hopeless, and I prayed desperately. And slowly, as the layers have peeled back, I still am in the fight. I'm still battling. I'm still peeling back layers, but my health has changed in a way that is almost hard for me to believe. And so that's why I want to share this with you today. I'm going to show you a general weekly food haul for winter. We do try our best to eat seasonally. Not every single item is going to be seasonal, but we try our best. And so this is going to look different than my food haul would look in the spring or the summer or the fall. And if you enjoy this kind of video and you are a returning subscriber, let me know in the comment below. There is hope. I am living, walking, breathing proof that there is hope. And I will say that when you start to do the research on these things and realize that most of the information that we've been given our whole lives is lies, it can be very upsetting, and you can walk through stages of grief. Do not stay there. One of the most important parts of healing is forgiveness, self-forgiveness, forgiving others. And we need to forgive the people that didn't know better. Maybe that's parents or doctors or whoever it is that didn't know any better. They were just giving us or sharing with us what they thought to be true, what they thought would be best for us, because we can't control those people, but we can control ourselves and what we put in our mouths. So that all being said, let's get into the weekly food haul. First of all, I needed to stock up on some green tea. I needed my tea, so I got some loose tea. We eat a version of what is known as an animal-based diet, which if you had told me that, like I told you, I was a vegetarian for 18 years. My husband and I are crazy animal people. We love animals. And so if you had told me that 10 years ago, I would have thought you were nuts. But I am so thankful for the animals, so thankful for everything God brings forth from his creation, everything that has contributed to this turnaround in my health and allowing me to live an abundant life. I'm going to cry again. This is a very personal topic, you know. So grateful. Okay, Lee, get it together. Let's hold it together here. I needed some more beef gelatin. I use this to make a grain-free version. Once a week we have a treat of pancakes or waffles, and I use beef gelatin in that recipe, and I also use this as a thickening agent and sometimes throw this in my protein smoothies and things like that. So I needed a bag of beef gelatin. I also needed to stock up, and this isn't every week obviously because I go through this very slowly, but I needed to stock up on some coconut flour on the occasion that I do any baking or make some tortillas or like a pumpkin bread or something like that. I will sometimes use the coconut flour, and this is a little bit of cassava flour. We eat an insane amount of butter, and I will make a lot of butter in my butter churner in the spring, but we always have extra stocked up butter. And I also always have a jar of ghee on hand. This is clarified butter. And then I always have a jar of rendered beef tallow. I just ordered another one. This one is basically empty. And I also always have some sort of a Celtic sea salt on hand. Celtic sea salt has an insane amount of the minerals that your body desperately needs. We use a lot of Celtic salt around here, so I always have to make sure I am stocked up on my salt. And then we also got an order this week from the farm, the family cow. I got this living, I'm gonna say living instead of RAW, okay, just for YouTube purposes, living heavy cream. I also got beef bones, and I already made this beef broth. So I roasted the bones 375 for about 15 minutes till they were brown. It just adds to the flavor. And then I slow simmered and made my bone broth. Then I got a bunch of beef from that farm, which is just an amazing farm. There's so many wonderful farms around here. The way that they treat the animals and the way that they process things, the way that they run their businesses, just lovely people. Got 2 things of whole chicken. I can use that for multiple meals, and then I can use that to make bone broth, and then I can use scraps for the dogs. So I will stretch those and use absolutely everything. It is January, so not all of our chickens are laying. They will start laying next month, most of them. But in the meantime, we need to supplement, and we eat a tremendous amount of eggs. So I have about 5 egg cartons in the fridge. And I can't wait for some of the young ones to start laying and see what their eggs look like. It's going to be really exciting. You guys going to start laying soon? I wanted to thank you. You make one of the most perfect foods on the planet. Eggs. Oh, yes, you. Hey, Ginger. Oh, my Zippy. This is our pet chicken right here. She lays a beautiful blue egg, don't you, sweets? Holland Wood. They eat raw eggs every day too, huh, buddy? Right, bud? You eat eggs every day. Say thank you to the chicks. I have pineapple scraps and oats for you guys. And then this is just some living yogurt, plain living yogurt. Bag of living cheese, living cheddar cheese, also from that family cow farm. We also eat fruit. I try to get as much of it in season as possible. Not all of it is, but I do try. So we always have avocados. I got a bag of oranges. I got 2 bushels of bananas. Squash. Squash is one of my safe foods. And squashes are actually a fruit. And so I had delicata squash. I had 2 of those and 2 acorn squashes. Obviously some of these are already gone, but I got us a bag of sweet potatoes. I always get cans of pumpkin or cans of squash for the dogs. And we also will make things like a pumpkin custard, just sweetened with a little maple syrup or raw honey. Put some raw cream in there, some eggs, and some pumpkin from a can. Delicious. I have maple syrup in the fridge, and so I got a 3-pack. One my husband popped out here, but I got a 3-pack of raw honey. We also got a pineapple. I already cut that up, put it in my glass jar. I do notice that fruit lasts longer if I transfer it to glass jars before I put it in the fridge. One of the things I do for our budget is to really be intentional of not letting food go bad. So if there's anything that I feel like we're not going to be able to eat in time, I simply dehydrate it with my dehydrator or I freeze it. I splurged and I got some dried organic mangoes. I also love dried pineapple, dried cranberries, as long as they don't have added sugar. For the dogs, I did get 2 cans of pumpkin. Like I said, I will put pumpkin or sweet potato into their food. I always keep the cans of it on hand in case I'm having a really busy week and I can't actually make them the pumpkin from a pumpkin, or I can't roast them a sweet potato, but I do try to keep all that on hand for them. And one of the ways that I've also been able to save money and be able to give our dogs 1 ingredient treats is to get things from farms or butchers like chicken feet and dehydrate them. They are excellent for their teeth, excellent for their joints. It's a fantastic superfood for them and they absolutely love them. And chicken feet are very inexpensive. Also organs, things like chicken heart, dehydrating those. And the dogs will always have bone broth, which is a very cost-effective food if you're making your own bone broth. I did get a bag of organic oats for the chickens for really cold January nights. I will give them some oats right before bed. Helps warm them up on the inside so that they're not as cold overnight when they sleep. And that is the haul for this week. Some of the things we've done over the years to be able to afford better quality food is we started years ago getting most of our clothes secondhand, not all of them, but most of them. And we also stopped going out to eat together. We stopped going to places like the movies, and you might be thinking like, okay, this sounds really boring, but that desire to not live sick was just so strong, and I was willing to give those things up. I also decided to really put focus into growing my online business, and I make almost all of our food from scratch. I committed to learning techniques to help stretch ingredients, and all of this, it's a learning curve. And I think sometimes people can feel overwhelmed and like our brain shuts off. I know that happens to me, and it's like analysis paralysis. But if you do it layer by layer and you peel it back and you say, okay, I can't do all of this at this very second, but I know that there's like 3 things that I can take out of my diet this week. I can stop buying these things. I can stop putting them in the cabinets. Those little things make such a big difference over time, and then trusting in faith as you go forward that all the other things that you need will be provided for. The Lord was really showing me the wisdom about the food industry and the pet food industry and all these things. And I remember praying, I am trusting in faith that if you're giving me this information and you're providing me this wisdom, that you are going to make a way and provide a way for me to be able to attain these things that I need to heal. Food hauls are fun, and I always like seeing what other people are buying, even though sometimes it stresses me out and I want to reach through the screen and be like, stop. I think a lot of people are waking up. I think there's a food revolution going on, which I think is really beautiful. And really, in the depths of my being, what I want for you across this screen is healing in every area of your life. I want the very, very best for you in every way. Thank you so much, as always, for coming back to our little house on the mountain. If you are interested in anything from today's video, I will try to put those links in the description box and pin them in the comments below. If you are interested in any of my journals or my spring summer planner that just came out, that will also be in the description box and pinned in the comments below. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you so much. And Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you right here on the next one. Bye, friends.